A short little tutorial video on Swift loops and cutting polygons. What you're looking at is a simple box model sized to represent a concrete wall or racetrack. Discussing different methods of how do you basically get texture segments onto a wall in 3ds Max. There are a couple ways to do it. If you start with the wall already mapped, if you start with the wall already mapped, you definitely don't want to use the cut method. And what I mean by that is, in polygon selection, you don't have to have the polygon highlighted to cut it either. You would hit cut over here under edit geometry and turn snaps on, snap to edge segment toggle. Yeah, I just had to cancel it there, but okay, so now it's hard to see in the video, but it's snapping to the edges. They're turning yellow. You can probably see it there. I'm snapping to the back edge there. So I'm going to click there on that edge, and I see a line forms from where I clicked. I can cut the top one. You can pretty instantly tell what the issue is with cutting, is how do you make that straight up and down. I mean, you can get pretty close. So you misclick and it ends up being like that. Now the line continues. It's a continuous cut until I hit right click to cancel it, and then right click again, deselects cut. Let's take a look at that from side view, and it's pretty obvious. That's not straight up and down. Of course, I can take the move tool, turn snaps off there. On the Y, I believe it is. Yeah. So I can do it that way, but if your object is already mapped with a texture, I just screwed that mapping up, and now I have to fix the mapping in the UVW unwrap window. So I'm going to show you a way to do this, and maybe you want that to continue all the way around the wall. So you'd have to, in this case, cut. Now how are you going to get that vertex exactly lined up with that one? It's different scenarios for different things here. I'm going to go ahead and leave that in place, or actually let's see if I can, yeah, we'll just go undo it, Control Z and undo it. So I'll make this bigger here and I'll zoom out just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is go up here to the top menu, Customize. Third one in from the end there, Customize User Interface. And under the Keyboard tab, I'm going to click on any one of these here, and I'm just going to start typing. Swift Loop pops up. So SWI Swift Loop pops up, so you'll be able to find it there. So the next thing I'm going to do is go over here where it says Hotkey. And I prefer Shift S, and as long as I have Swift Loop over here selected and that combination set up there, I'm going to hit Assign. You see now it says Shortcut Swift Loop. So I don't need to do anything else in here except close it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Shift S. Let me zoom out a little bit. Shift S, and you can see that green box appears, and now that is perfectly up and down vertical. So if I click there and then I go to edge, you can see the edges that I just created in that box are there. So now think about, texture segments. That's essentially what you do in Sandbox, is add a Swift Loop. So I want my new texture segment to be, let's say, right here. So just that fast, using that shortcut, I've now got that completely cut out, perfectly up and down. I will mention when you have complex geometry, and I don't have it set up, so I'm not going to show it, but if you have complex geometry, more than, say, a vertical box, and this will work on banked boxes as well, it will still be vertical. The complex geometry, what I'm talking about is if you have things at 45-degree angles, not necessarily a simple box shape, you might get some weird results. If you try to do this on a sphere, it may not work the greatest. You might be better off using cut, or putting a plane through it to get where you want it to be cut and that kind of stuff. But it's just another tool. Has its uses, has its limitations, same as any other tool in here. So it's all about knowing when to use it. Just to review, that was under Customize User Interface. Click over here, just start typing SWI, a little bit faster, SW, whatever, Swift Loop. Yours will not have the shortcut set up. Whatever you want it to be, Shift S, and then assign it. You can also remove it if you overwrite another one and you don't want that to be. You can go through this list, and there's a lot of stuff in here. If you see something that you use a lot and you want to make a shortcut for it, that's the same process. So pretty neat little tool there. You do not have to be in polygon rollout to do that. You can see, depending on which face I select, it's now inserting a loop horizontally. So if you wanted to do it that way, it's dependent on where your mouse cursor is. I'll show that a little bit closer. Shift S. So over here, I'm on this side, I'm up here, it's the same loop, but when I switch to the end, once it gets close, now you can do it this way too. It's looking based on the edges that's already there, so once it gets close to an edge, you can see it switches to horizontal, and then I can also go through the end of it, depending on where I hold it. Nothing's happening until you left click again, so however you want to do it. Right click to end it, same as the other tools there. You can see that's now divided up that way. So I will end the video there. Thanks for watching.